this. And yes, another Brian. I see the comments. Yeah, Leo. Like, damn. Another one? Another one. Just say DJ Khaled. That's it. DJ Khaled. Another Brian. Another one. Okay? Him guilty. Him guilty. That's all I'm going to say right now. But we got to talk about this, and I'm just going to be real. Okay? Him guilty. Him guilty. I had to get off. Woo! I feel so much better now. Him guilty, though. Okay? Had to get that off my chest. This is crazy. Y'all who dating some Bryans, you better keep your head on the swivel. I'm just playing. I'm playing. There's a lot of good Bryans out there in the world, okay? It just happens to be a very strange situation here. This is a very tragic story. I absolutely agree with that. Absolutely. Okay? Anna Walshe, okay? She is a real estate agent. She was supposed to go onto a flight out to D.C. because that's where she works around New Year's Eve time, New Year's Day, actually, and she never got on the plane. Now, the husband's very interesting. His name is Brian, another Brian Walshe. No one knows where she is right now, except now there's red. You know, I have to use these code words. They found red on a knife in the basement. Guilty. Police claim it was still unclear whether Walshe took a ride share to the airport, but have determined the mother of three never got on her flight. 3 days after she's seen leaving her home with bags in hand. Okay? 3 days after she was seen leaving her home with bags in hand. Then that's when she was reported missing. Yeah. This guy took 3 days. Let me say this again, 3 whole days to call 50 and say she's missing. 3. Huge red flag. Investigators have tried to track Walshe's digital footprint for answers, but so far have found no cell phone or credit card activity. 20 troopers from the MSP, Special Emergency Response Team, a specialized unit trained in search and rescue operations, as well as 3 canine teams, and the State Police Air Wing searched wooded areas near Walshe's home in Massachusetts with negative results for the second straight day, according to Cohasset Police. The Metropolitan Police Department also searched for Walshe at her D.C. townhome in Friendship Heights Saturday to no avail. Just maybe maybe they got into a fight, she kicked rocks. She needed some time to herself. She travels quite a bit. She has a second home. Okay, they have a townhome in Washington, D.C., because that's where her majority of her work is. So she flies back and forth from Cohasset, Massachusetts, to Washington, D.C., right? This is a very busy woman. Lots of mileage, okay? I'm sure she's got a lot of traveler points, okay? Now, instantly, some of us will think, maybe they got into a fight, she packed up a bag, and she just left. Maybe that's not the flight that she got onto. Maybe she went on a different flight. Maybe she rented a car, something like that. But the funny thing is that there's no activity on her credit cards, no activity on her social medias, no activity on her cell phone. So it's quick. It's easy for us to sit there and break all these things down, assume all kinds of different things, troubleshoot, right? Process of elimination, knock out all the major bullets, right? Maybe she left. Maybe she'll return. Maybe she went radio silent for no reason or for a reason, okay? Maybe she just needed a break. So you're telling me that she didn't call you not once? You're telling me that if she just left angry as hell, let's just say they got into a fight, They parted ways. She just needed some time off. You know for a fact she's at least having some sort of dialogue with him. Doesn't matter how angry she is. She's going to let her husband know that she's okay and that she's in some Holiday Inn down the street. Okay, she's staying at a motel. Actually, she seems fancy, so I would think that she's probably at a Ritz. Of course, she would sit there and tell somebody, "Yo, I am honey," or not honey, just "I'm here. Leave me alone. Bye." Whatever. Okay, and this is the screaming red flag. It is screaming hot, red hot. It is right here. 3 days after she's seen leaving her home with bags, allegedly, that's when she was reported missing. Hubby Brian, number 3, decides to report her missing after 3 days? Doesn't that just jump out to you as like a... Doesn't that jump out to you? To me, it does. What happened to Anna Walshe? Because this is a huge bombshell that happened today. Huge bombshell. Anna Walshe, 39-year-old mother of 3 from Massachusetts. She was reported missing on January 4th, 3 days after she had initially kicked rocks, allegedly, by Papa Walshe. Okay? We already know she's an employer in Washington, D.C. And then a husband called to say he hadn't heard from her. Her husband, Brian Walshe, who is on house arrest for a federal fraud case involving the sale of a fake Andy Warhol painting, or sale of fake Andy Warhol paintings, was arraigned Monday. But at least we know a little bit that this is a grimy mother. He's grimy, okay? He's a greasy son of a gun. Greasy. At least let's get justice for this young woman, okay? So, Brian said his wife left around 6 a.m. taking an Uber or Lyft to the airport where she was scheduled to fly to D.C. According to court documents, he told the police he and his wife had dinner with a friend at their home on New Year's Eve. The friend stayed from about 8 p.m. till about 1 to 1:30 a.m. on New Year's Day. That night, Brian Walshe said his wife told him she had a work emergency and had to fly back to D.C. in the morning. That morning, he said his wife got ready, kissed him goodbye. Oh, he's so romantic, such a romantic. And told him to go back to sleep before leaving. Go to bed, babe. Mwah. He told police he woke up around 7 a.m. and made breakfast for the couple's 3 boys, ages 2, 4, and 6, and left to run errands around 3 p.m. after a babysitter arrived at the house. He said he left again at 4 p.m. to see his mother, who lives in Swampscott. He said he got lost along the way. Ha! Sorry, I didn't mean to do that out loud. But he said he got lost along the way. So the trip took him 20 to 30 minutes longer than usual. I'll continue. I'm just saying, this part of this paragraph right here, is suspicious. Sus. All right? Let's continue. Within 15 minutes of arriving at his mother's condominium, he said he left to run errands for his mother at Whole Foods and CVS in Swampscott to get groceries and cleaning wipes. Now, I'm sorry, but I could probably drive to my mother's house blindfolded right now. I could drive to my mother's house blindfolded. And I know 3 different ways to get to my mother's house, like the back of my hand right now. Blindfolded. So you're telling me that you got lost along the way to your mama's house, which took him 20 to 30 minutes longer than usual. So what were you doing during that 20, 30 minutes en route? Is this en route to Swampscott, or is this en route back from Swampscott? So somewhere within this time is probably where he got rid of some things. Now, he was arraigned today, Monday morning, on a charge that he misled investigators and ordered held on $500,000 cash bail. So husband allegedly purchased $450 of cleaning supplies at Home Depot. $450 of cleaning supply. I'm not even in the thick of this paragraph yet. I'm just reading the title, and you tell me who would buy $450 worth of cleaning supplies for their own private domicile. Guilty, him guilty. Done. This is it. $450 worth of cleaning supplies. You telling me that that's just because it's Sunday and he just feels like a good scrub. He just wants to do a deep clean of that bathroom, right? Right? Moving on. On January 2nd, so the day after, she allegedly had jumped onto a plane and flown to Washington, D.C. So again, as part of the conditions of his home confinement, Brian Walshe reported that he took his son to go get chocolate, to go get a chocolate shake at a press juice bar in Norwell. This is the part that gets really fun. I'm sorry. I love when criminals do stupid things. And this is just stupid. But surveillance footage showed on that day, sometime around 4 p.m., he went to Home Depot in Rockland, where he purchased $450 in cleaning supplies. Get this though. This is the dead giveaway, including mops, buckets. Those are kind of like, okay, maybe he just really wants to mop the floors, okay? But then you go into tarps, drop cloths, and various kinds of tape. You're telling me he was buying this type of stuff? He was buying this? Grimy. He's grimy. Are you kidding me? You're telling me, well, maybe give him a chance. Maybe she gone. Like, what? Who? Why? Was there an outbreak of asbestos in his house? He bought a hazmat suit, straight up Dexter style. Justice for Anna. Real talk. On some real stuff. I mean, we could laugh at the stupidity of his criminality, of his criminal mind, but at the same time, this is disturbing. Him guilty. But when you are walking around and you are literally handing somebody cold hard cash and you have gloves on, not just, ooh, it's cold, it's brisk outside. You are literally wearing surgical gloves out in these wilderness streets. You might want to give them an inquisitive look, because that's weird. That's hella weird, y'all. Investigators executed a search warrant at the Walshe home on Cushing Highway in Cohasset on January 8th, where they said they found red in the basement and a damaged knife, which also contained red. Later that day, state and Cohasset police said they took Brian Walshe into custody after concluding that they had probable cause to believe he had misled investigators into the search for his missing wife. Now let's keep it real. You find blood, you find a knife or damaged knife. In other words, he was trying to destroy it. That's how I took it. So you're telling me that you got lost along the way to your mama's house, which took him 20 to 30 minutes longer than usual. So what were you doing during that 20, 30 minutes? En route? Is this en route to Swampscott? Or is this en route back from Swampscott? So somewhere within this time is probably where he got rid of some things. I have a feeling on his way to his mama's house, you're going to find some things. Again, she left. Allegedly, according to this man here, she left. But she never got on the plane. They don't have any proof that she got into a Lyft or an Uber. She just disappeared. She just vanished. She's nowhere to be found. He goes off on some weird driving thing. First, he goes off on some trip to a Home Depot, spends $450 worth of stuff, including hazmat suits and the sort. Then he has a trip to his mama's, which was, he got lost along the way to his mother's, where he added another 20 to 30 minutes to or from where he was, from his home. Like I said, to me, this screams unthinkable crime. Foul play is afoot on this one. I don't think, unfortunately, I hope she is still alive. I hope I'm wrong. But I don't think she's around here, y'all. I don't know. I think this was him trying to find every way he can to not get caught. All the stuff that I've said in these other reports, in these articles that I've read to you guys, she's basically repeating the same things. He had no receipts. Zero. Oh, I went to CVS and this, that, and the third. I did all these things for my mama. Where is the stuff?
Surveillance check during the investigation indicated that defendant, in fact, on January 2nd, sometime after 4 o'clock, went to the Home Depot, which is in Auckland. He's on surveillance at that time, purchasing about $450 worth of cleaning supplies. That would include mops, bucket, tops, T-Vex, drop cloths, as well as various kinds of tape. With crime scene services, during that time, they found blood in the basement. Blood was found in the basement area, as well as a knife, which also contained some blood. Yes, in the basement, crime scene services recovered and found blood in the basement area, in a section of the basement. There was also a knife that was found. On the knife, there was also blood, and part of the knife was damaged. Your Honor, these various statements caused a delay in the investigation, to the point that during the time frame when he didn't report his wife and gave various statements, that allowed him time to either clean up evidence, dispose of evidence, in causing a delay. As of this time, Anna Walshe has not been found. So because of that, the Commonwealth is asking $500,000 cash bail. At this time, these are the charges.
He's not going to go out without bail. So he's been issued $500,000 bail, period. Because clearly this man was up to no good. And what's interesting is that you have a woman that seemed to be, well, while he was under house arrest, seems like the wife was really holding it down during that time. I don't know if that was eating away at his ego or if that made him feel some type of way or something of that sort. But still, no matter what, you have somebody who has allegedly, obviously, all roads, all breadcrumbs, everything is telling me something else. It's telling me that, yeah, he did a very, very bad thing. And maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know he was going to do that night. This could have been one big old mistake, an accident, anger. Never underestimate the power of anger, guys. Never underestimate that. The power of anger and liquor. Okay? You had two people who brought three, I'm sure, beautiful children into this world. Maybe get into some sort of fight, a misunderstanding, an argument, whatever. And the unthinkable happens. Lateef, precisely. Guilty. Sus. That is sus as hard. Sus as hell. Hard as hell. Okay? Sus as hell. And we will sit and wait for them to have the smoking gun, more smoking gun evidence. And of course, we got to wait till they actually run DNA on that weapon and all that. And on the walls of wherever this red is found in the basement of this house. Remember? They found red down there too. So run the DNA, run it back, right? And let's get the truth. It's time to get going. Love y'all. This is the Pascal Show.